is Tuesday, July 22nd. 2-2. We got a lot to go over. We're going to talk, are we extended? You know, that's the discussion. Is this rally going to continue to go on forever? We're going to look at QQQ and SPY. And is there a top signal? Crypto dick butts? Is it a top signal? We'll talk about, I gave you PSIX yesterday as a second half stock. I'm going to give you one stock that is a top 2025 pick, a top second half pick, and an alpha pick, 3-in-1. Does it have more room to run? We'll take a look at that one. I am a big believer in any reaction is an overreaction in this market. If you looked at liquid natural gas yesterday and nat gas future, any reaction's an overreaction. Steve Kress has an energy play. We'll look at Open Door, Oscar, and Rocket Mortgage. What do those have in common? We will look at Circle, because Charlie thinks I hate Circle. I don't hate Circle. I will just give you the facts about Circle. We will give you a comparison of 2000 versus today in the semiconductor industry and how I'm playing that one. An earnings stock that is up 50% this morning on earnings. Coke, Lockheed Martin, DR Horton, and Tesla and Google tonight. There's one that I actually like a little bit better than most. So, and then we'll finish this off with scans. But let's talk about this. This is the chart of QQQ. And many times I put this up on the chart and I don't talk about it. But we're going to talk about it today because this run has been historic. And are we extended? Well, when you look at this chart, okay, if you don't know technicals, I would urge you, go and research the MACD. Have a discussion with Perplexity about the MACD. Ask it what you can see in the MACD. Ask it about RSI. Ask it, have a conversation. This is your personal trainer. We talk about TrendSpider and how I tell you, you should get this top tier. It's the last day of the sale, okay? But you get 52 trainings per year. And if you want to just save half that money per month, again, I don't think this is a crazy price. If you told me that I could have a one-on-one Zoom session with a product expert, I was looking at golf lessons last night. Do you know for 3 days of golf lessons, it costs close to $4,000? $4,000 for 3 days. You're getting 52 trainings from a product expert on technicals at like $25 an hour, and you get this tool for free. So again, if you don't want that, you can get the lower one. But what I see, the MACD has reset. It's still 5 points above the oscillator. If you don't know what that is, go and Google or use Perplexity. The RSI is coming off of 75 and it's down to 69. We had an afternoon red day, afternoon red candle. Okay, we saw weakness yesterday and we're just kind of floating around. There's nothing happening. Earnings tonight may be the key. But are we extended? Because look at this. Crypto dick butts breaking out to new all-time highs on OpenSea. This is NFT. And again, it's all-time highs. So are we extended? You've got crypto rising when typically a lot of those risk things, and you see things like Open Door up 100% at one point yesterday. Again, that's what you want to look to see if we're extended, because let's zoom out a little. If we zoom out a little and we look at a weekly chart, okay, the MACD's in a whole different place. Your Bollinger Bands are extended and we're trading at the top of the Bollinger Bands. Your RSI isn't coming down, it's continuing up at 66. So you should have a strategy. Let's just, I mean, I like VOO, but for the tons of people out there who love SPY and like trading options, I am going to put this into perspective. This is SPY. It's very similar to QQQ. Again, coming off of an RSI of 72 down to 64 on the 4 hour. The MACD is 3 points above the oscillator. Bollinger Bands, pretty tight, July 16th, 6 days ago, moving up. Doesn't mean it's done moving. Zoom out. Weekly. What are we seeing? Pulling the volume by price level back to January 24, you can see the value area low around 500. Again, this is an old note. But if I pull this volume back here to the most recent lows back in April, where are shelves? Well, we're setting one up between 619 and 626. If you break 619, expect it to go down to 600. These are volume levels. This is where people buy and sell. That's a key indicator. I'm not saying we're at a peak. I'm not saying we've topped out. You can absolutely continue going, but you need to know where you're at. And when you see shit like this, just take a look at it. Now, yesterday, I talked about PSIX. It was down. It was down 2%. It's up 1% today. Over the past month, it's up 47% since Seeking Alpha picked it as one of their top second half stocks. I'm going to give you a stock now. Okay? If you take a look at the top 10 stocks right here, from Palantir to Netflix, the top 10 stocks fueling the NASDAQ rally, it's Palantir, Zscaler, KLA Corporation, Strategy, MicroStrategy up 48%. And yes, it's in the Qs. DoorDash up 44%. Mercado Libre, Netflix, CrowdStrike. Maybe you have those. But I'm going to give you a little other one. Okay, I've given you this one before. It's a top 2025 stock. It's a top second half 2025 stock from Seeking Alpha. And it's an Alpha Pick stock. Okay, all of these you can get when you sign up for the bundle, Premium and Alpha Picks. Okay, but it's CRDO. CRDO is the symbol. Now, does this one have room to run? Again, PSIX over 1 month was up 46%. This one's up 13% since they picked it. Year to date since they picked it, it's up 42%. But if you look at this one over 1 year, have we run? Well, the 52-week range is between 22 and 104. You're trading at 94 right now. Wall Street says it's a strong buy, but their price target's only $89. So we can go and look at Analyze with AI, competitors, competition from Broadcom, Marvel, and Astera Labs. Valuation, significantly valuation challenges with PE and price to book. Growth showcases extraordinary growth. Earnings per share growth of 180%. Profitability, it's mixed. It's net income margin of 12. Okay, this is all with AI. You don't even need to know how to read this stuff. I know it. Do I want to buy it up here? Maybe it's not that great of an opportunity. But again, if you had gotten in with Alpha Picks, and that's what Alpha Picks is good at, because the portfolio, again, is up 182%. It's up 182% versus the same time period. The S&P was up 764. And again, if you want these the top stocks of 2025 in the second half, get the bundle or just get premium. It's your choice. But I like this stock. I own this stock. Stay tuned for a video. This is a semiconductor stock. And later, I'm going to give you a video that compares semiconductors to their stock run in the late 90s. It's really good. Now, I'm a believer in the market. Every reaction is an overreaction. And natural gas equities plunged alongside futures. EQT was the biggest loser in the S&P yesterday. So what does this tell me? Well, it tells me the two that I like trading, Boyle and KOLD. Boyle is a 3 times leveraged bull. So this is going to be down. The 4-hour algorithm got you out. I do trade this every now and then. So KOLD which is the inverse, this got you in at 26.93. You're trading at 28.34. It's up 5% today. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction. At some point in time, you will want to buy BOIL. Why? Because U.S. natural gas permit, this is the head of EQT. The U.S. must cut permit times. And guess what? Energy is going to be a huge, huge push for AI. And here's one that Steve Kress says. Petrobras, symbol PBR. Go and research it. Okay? He goes over everything. Chevron's purchase acquisition of Hess could pave the way for more M&A, even as other sectors are bogged down by market volatility. I'm a big believer. Now, my pick in the energy sector, and I've said this many times before, is MPLX. Am I buying Steve Kress's position? No. I like MPLX. Personally, why? Yield 7.61%. And when I go and chart this against the S&P, and we're just going to go total return, because total return includes the dividend. And so when you look at 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 10 years where it lags. And I'm okay with that. I just bought this in 2020. So I'm only 5 years into my run. But again, year to date, it's kind of just eking out the S&P. But I like MPLX. So remember, just because I tell you a stock doesn't mean I'm going out and buying it. Now, Open Door. This one's nuts. It's the darling. If you remember last week, I brought this up. It's a short squeeze. This is nothing other than a short squeeze. This is nothing other, I'll repeat, nothing other than a short squeeze. It's crazy what it has done. 5 days, you're up almost 163%. And you're only within the middle of your 52-week range. It tailed off yesterday afternoon. You can see it. This is the 1-day chart. You can see how it tailed off down to 3. It's up 21%. If you learn to trade this one, you can. Open Door has the ability to be traded. I have a 1-hour stock battle. Okay, 1-hour stock battle focuses on this. Over the last 66 days, you have 17 positions. Okay, 17 positions. Got you in here at 85 cents. And it's still in. You're up 218% on this one run. Again, have a strategy. This is a 1-hour strategy. The 4-hour strategy on Open Door, it works. You're up 90% versus minus 10%, but you only win 19% of the time. Your average win is 91%. It got you in at 54 cents. I would not suggest you use this strategy, but if you sold near the top, you're up 700% in 24 days. It is a short squeeze. When you take a look at Seeking Alpha, you can see the short interest, 18%. I think it was in the 30s. They can't get out of this fast enough. I will tell you, one that is getting a little bit of darling with this is Rocket Mortgage. It was up 7% yesterday, okay? Here's the thing you have to know about Rocket Mortgage. It's not a very good valuation company. But with interest rates reducing, maybe this provides some opportunity. But And that might be great if you have Seeking Alpha. You might say, you know what? Maybe it's not the best, 14 out of 21. Maybe FMCC is even better. But when you go over and you look at the chart of Rocket Mortgage, I want you to pay attention to a weekly chart where you could just draw a line, okay? You don't even need to see anything. You don't need to know anything about technicals other than the candles. And say, okay, I want to draw a line where it seems to top out. That's right at 15 where it's trading right now. Old support turns to new resistance. Okay, old resistance turns to new support. At some point in time, this will turn to support if we are about to go back to its all-time highs at 30. Let's see. Yeah, 25. But it needs to get above that. Right now, it's just pounding. So would I say go out and buy this? No, I wouldn't. There's another one, Oscar, which I gave you the other day. This one was up crazy yesterday and yet pulled back. This was up at 1438. It pulled back to 13. It's now at 12. Remember I said yesterday, I said, hey, this one, they have $9 of cash in the bank. It's $9 of cash. The valuation is great. The growth, fantastic. The profitability, fantastic. The momentum, it's not great. It's not great. It's healthcare. The chart tells the story. Mid-morning, the runs seem to just lose steam. At some point, the rally dies. And that's not just in the stock market, that's in every stock. So what's my point on all of this? I want you to have a watch list. I don't care where you keep this watch list, whether it's in Excel, whether it's in Apple Notes, because Google, Android, FU. It's all about Apple. Apple Notes, you have a Google Keep, I think it's the same thing. But again, wherever you keep it, I have some in TrendSpider, I have some in Seeking Alpha. I want you to have a list of 5 to 10 stocks that you will buy when they dip, no questions asked, because you want to own them. I have that list. I'm going to make it available to paid newsletter subscribers. Probably this week. I'm just trying to do it. Again, subscribe to the newsletter, but I will make that available. I want you to have that as well. And just make sure you put alerts in. So when they dip, you don't say, ooh, I think it's got more to go down. You enter. I'll give you one. It's Robinhood. Okay. And I got asked yesterday from Charlie on Spotify. He asked why I don't like Circle. And I'll give you a little bit of an answer on why I don't like Circle. And it might be from, it's a fact. It's not a question. It's more a fact. I could be wrong about this entire thing. Just understand, I could be wrong because the chart tells the story. The only thing you care about is not the actual business. It's the stock price. And I have been wrong about this one because this one soared. I don't like IPOs. But why don't I like it? So I went to Perplexity and I said, can you tell me the Circle business model? Now I knew this. Explain it to me like I'm 14 years old. Okay? All of the income that they have, all of the money, the earnings, the main source is from interest payments on the stable coin. So you can Google this. I will include this link in the newsletter. So when interest rates start to go down and they're not gaining as much because they can put it in a high interest savings account and earn 4 or 5% now. But what about when that goes down to 3%? And what about when competition starts? What about when the banks start issuing their own stable coin? And again, I could be completely wrong about this. But I just don't like the valuation of this one. When you look at Circle, okay, I don't like the valuation. $49 billion valuation when they're making about, $1 billion. And, again, you look at the valuation, 162 times forward earnings. And again, this could be another Palantir. This could be another Robinhood where I didn't like it because of the valuation and I was wrong. But the key point, most of their income comes from interest and it's trading 168 times forward earnings with a 15% revenue growth. That's not a lot. Okay, when I say I don't like it, I've done my homework. And it's not that I hate it. I could be completely wrong. But you want to know the valuation of Robinhood? It's 68 times forward earnings. Not 168 times. It's 68 times forward earnings. Oh, And the growth, 60%, not 15%. And I like their business model better. So it's not that I hate Circle. It's not that I don't think that, hey, it's a good business. I just think it got too hyped too soon. Oh, and by the way, comment, I get a lot of questions about, should I buy this? Should I sell this stock? I'm up so much. I won't answer those questions. If you ask me those questions, I probably will tell you, I don't own it. And am I going to give you guidance? I will tell you, the fact remains that you will make mistakes. You will buy and lose money. You will sell and see the stock go up. You will also buy and see the stock go down. But I'm not managing your portfolio. Those decisions are yours to make. We don't have the same goals. We don't have the same risk tolerance. We don't have the same financial situations. If you're not willing to put 50% of your portfolio into Apple, then I don't think that we have the same look at things. And if you're going to ask me about a stock, most likely I'm going to tell you, hey, I don't own it. And that, for me, would be enough of an opinion. If you respect my opinion and I don't own it, and you don't want to own it, don't own it. But I haven't found it valuable enough to put my money into it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't. I don't own Robinhood. I don't own Palantir. I don't own many of the others that have done incredibly well. But whether you buy or sell stocks is your own decision. I'm here to guide you with just the ability to go and look at things. Okay? I'm not here to tell you to buy. I'm not here to tell you to sell. I am telling you my view of things. And if you want to take my advice, that's on your own time and your own, everyone's got different risks. Now, I will tell you, I've been a huge fan of Palo Alto. It has done nothing. But they are in talks to buy Sentinel. Sentinel popped. I think Palo Alto under 200 is a great one. And Sentinel's up. Sentinel's good too. Again, I was on Spaces yesterday and Logical brought up OKTA. OKTA's an alpha pick. Okay, Logical is a small cap investor. And he said it's incredibly cheap. He expects it to continue to run. Well, let's look at OKTA because, again, this is an alpha pick. Now, alpha picks picked it in February of 2024. It's up 7% since then. It hasn't been a big winner. The S&P during that same time is up 25%. So it has underperformed. Now, here's the look at it. So this is how I look at stuff. Again, you can do this same research. It's not me. When you ask me about a stock and what do you think about it, go and do this. Go to Seeking Alpha. Look at the stock. Where is it in the 52-week range? It's right in the middle. What does the quant say about it? It says it's a hold. Why? Well, the valuation seems to be extended. Again, Logical said it's cheap. Well, let's look at it. It's 29 times forward earnings. It's pretty expensive. But when you factor in the growth and you look at the PEG ratio at 1.46, that's really good. So then what price should I look at it? Well, Wall Street says that it's a $122 stock. That's 27% upside. So how do I want to go into this? Well, again, you can analyze it with AI, which has a lot of other information. You can see the positives and concerns. Again, this is how I look at things. When you ask me about a stock, this is the exact way that I look at it. And whether I make a determination or not is up to me. And whether you spend money on it is up to you. Now, I see the 4-hour algorithm has a buy today at $95. Do I want to take that? Well, I would argue it's probably a pretty good deal because you win 40% of the time. Your average win is 7%. I'm seeing it under the 200-day. I'm seeing a gap here between 112 and 123. You have earnings coming up August 27th. So do you want to, your RSI is at 53. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are, kind of, they cinched up, and then we saw that move down. Now they're starting to cinch up. You may want to wait a couple of days. Maybe that 50-day starts to turn a little bit. Let's look at the long-term aspect. Well, you're hanging around the 200-day on this one. If you're going to buy at 95, I'd say your support level is 72. That would be the time to buy. You can see 72 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times right there. But the 50-day, you kind of use that as support at 90. That's the way I look at things. And when you ask me about it, that's all I'm going to do. And these tools are available to you. Now, Astera Labs. It didn't have news yesterday, but it was up 20%. And I want to show you this. It was up 20%. Year to date, though, it's down 7%. The S&P's up 7%. Okay, year to date, Nebius, which is also in that space, up 89%. Just full disclosure, Nebius is one that I want to buy. I don't own it. I want to buy it. And then you had in the same space, semiconductor space, NVTS, which we've talked about. This is one of Shai's favorite. This was up 25% yesterday. It's up 5% in the pre-market. Shai loves this one, but probably not at this price. The 52-week range, the high is $9.48. You're trading in pre-market at almost $9. It's expensive. Now, on the watch list for earnings, okay, we've got earnings coming up tonight. This was, actually, you know what? I'm going to put that back. Here. We're going to cut that one out, and we're going to put that down at the earnings, because I'm going to put this one right here. Okay. And then we're going to go back to, let's see, A-Lab. There we go. Now, NVTS. But this is huge. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My notes are a little bit off. But PDT rule, okay? If you don't know what the PDT rule, it is a situation. It's like my Webull account, okay? My Webull account has less than $25,000 in it. And so I am restricted by what's called the PDT rule. And my Webull account is at $13,700. This started at $1,000. Today I'm up 1%. Why? Pretty much IBIT. I mean, I have a ton of IBIT in this portfolio. It is a huge amount of the 13,700, $7,000 of this is Bitcoin, IBIT. And I'm up 70% on that. So again, Webull, great platform, but this is breaking. They are considering moving the PDT rule down to $2,000. That will make a huge difference in people who are just starting. You don't understand how restrictive that damn PDT rule is. Pattern day trading. They don't want you to be a day trader. They do it for your protection. F you. I don't need protection. I want to do more than 4 trades a week. So yes, that's it. Now, we're getting to, is this 2000 or is this 1997, 1998? This video right here, okay? This is from a Bravos research. It is 7 minutes long. It's worth your watch. A friend sent me this video and wanted my thoughts. It goes over the semiconductor trade. Okay, I like this video. It basically tells you there is more room to run. Now, what did I tell my friend? I said, if this is true, and what they're saying is, long story short, you go and watch it. There most likely will be a pullback in the semiconductor trade. It's been too far, too fast. Okay, so more than likely, there is a pullback. But I told my friend, I am thinking of when we see a pullback of getting into one of these triple leveraged ETFs. Okay, there's a couple. First one is SOXL. This is the semiconductor trade. It's 3 times leveraged on a daily basis. So it's not one you typically want to buy and hold. But when you look at the April lows, it got you in at $10. It had a nice 47% run right there, okay? Then you look at the next buy at 1830 and you're up on that one. When I look at the 4-hour algorithm on this, again, this is a decaying asset. But over 24 months, this 4-hour algorithm makes you 87% on this. You only win 38% of the time. This is where it's making its money. And when you look at a weekly and you just anchor that back into 2022 lows and you look at where we pulled back, we lost everything here. Are we coming back to this? This could double. So SOXL was one I did some work on. Then I found the Ultra Semiconductors, USD. This one does even freaking better over the last 2 years. And it wins 41% of the time. And you're currently in it at $35. And it's at 83. 83. So again, find a strategy and go and test it. And if you think that we're going high, it's not straight up. Here's some analysis for you. This hasn't happened since 2000, and it could take the market even higher. The indicator reached the same level as 2020, suggesting the potential for re-ratings with interest rate cuts. We are in a bull market, FYI. We are in a bull market, and so far, semiconductors have been leading us out of that liberation day. And I think there's more room to run. So I agree with that. So go and watch that 7-minute video and see what you think. Now, MedPace, I had no idea this company existed, but it's up 50% based on earnings. 50%. You want to talk about any reaction is an overreaction? They're up 50% in pre-market. It's not like this one dipped down, because you're trading at 464. That's an all-time high. It just soared. Short interest, 11%. It's probably why. They had decent earnings. If you can find one of these shorts, that's one to do. But MEDP, if you want to trade it during the day, it probably goes higher like Open Door and stuff like that. I am not in this one. One that I am in is Coke. They killed it on earnings like Pepsi did, but they're down close to 1%. You want to know why? Because they ran into earnings. Again, that 73 seems to be resistance. Now 70 seems to be the new 60. I had said long before, anytime it dips below that 60, you want to buy it and you want to sell it above. It provided support. 73 or 70 is now providing resistance. So this may be a good opportunity to watch this one decline and then get into it. Again, this is not a major position. The only reason why I hold this is because I drink Coke. Now, Lockheed Martin, they reported this morning. It's one of the big losers. It's down 7%. That's huge. Now, let's look. Before I look at that, I'm going to show you a chart. Okay? It seemed like this one might turn around. Again, this is very similar to a lot of stocks that you see, like Target and others, which have turned and pulled back. Sometimes they don't recover. Okay? This one seemed like it was turning around. You had the MACD down here below the oscillator. You had the RSI at 45. You had it just using the 200-day at 453 on the weekly as maybe support because it's bounced off there a couple of times. And then all of a sudden this morning, you're at 425. And so if we look at a daily on this one, 425 is below the 200-day. I mean, it's well below the 200-day. And 400 is where this gap kind of comes in. So here's my point. Okay? Lockheed Martin, it is underperforming the XLI, which is the industrials ETF. It's underperforming it. And XLI is outperforming VOO year to date, doubling it. Don't buy the loser in a sector that's actually winning. You don't want to buy a loser in a sector that's actually winning. You want to buy the winners. You want to add to your winners and cut your losers. And this earnings report just kind of proves that one. Now, a sector that's not doing well is housing. Okay? Keep an eye on this one. Add this one to one of your watch lists, not to automatically buy. I wouldn't suggest that. But the revenue growth year over year was down 4%. It was horrible. But they did pretty well. And Stephanie Link points this out. Ugly year over year numbers, but they beat on just about every metric relative to consensus and against very low expectations. Housing has super low expectations. We talked about Rocket Mortgage. With refinance, they could actually start doing well. Execution remains best in class. DHI is the best in class. Now let's talk about earnings tonight. We've got some big tomorrow. We've got some big earnings tomorrow. Tesla and Google. Which one do you want? Because Tesla, I will tell you, it's expensive. Do you want Tesla? Long term, I learned buy and hold on this one was better than the trading. So I own it in XLY. I couldn't deal with the volatility. But with Elon sleeping on the factory floor again, I think that's key. And I think it moves up again. Earnings, he's probably going to get questioned about the political stuff. Hopefully he stays away from it. But what provides you a little bit of safety? Well, it's the 4-hour algorithm. Right here, again, in TrendSpider. It's the last day for the sale. The last day for the sale. And if you're trading Tesla, why not have a strategy that backtests well? This one, you can see it right here on the screen. It makes you 61.7%. Versus if you bought and held Tesla, you've made 20% over the same time period. And then you have Google. And Google, I am holding. It's at 192. Okay, that 193, that's a previous all-time high back in July of last year. We have round tripped. If you bought in July of last year, you haven't made a dime on this stock. The street is going to focus on search. Okay? It's trading at 19 times earning when the S&P is trading at 24 times earnings. So you're getting this one at a discount to the market. Personally, I use Perplexity. You see me all the time. I pay for Grok. I haven't used Google as much, but I still use Gmail. And I still watch like 4 hours a day of freaking YouTube. And I go to Google all the time. And Google's AI model just got gold at the Math Olympics. So what's Google's Wall Street price target? $202. It's 5% above here. Again, is Wall Street just underestimating Google? Maybe. Maybe. One that I like tomorrow is ServiceNow. Okay? This is an AI play. And I've talked about this. I own CRM, Salesforce. I've wanted to switch into this. You got to buy in the 4-hour algorithm. Okay? The 4-hour algorithm doesn't work. But maybe an entry just gets me into this one right before earnings. It's now on the watch list. Let me make sure. Let's put it on the watch list. I'm going to put it on the Daily Stock Pick watch list. Okay? I've wanted to buy it for a long 4-hour algorithm. It got me in. Why do I like this one? Well, when we go and look at ServiceNow, it's midway between its 52-week range, right there, between 678 and 1199. Okay? What is Wall Street? They think it's a strong buy. It's 14% below its Wall Street price target. Analysts are raising their expectations. 36 are raising the earnings per share. 2 are only bringing them down. It's 20 up. 20 down on revenue. Okay? And when you look at this, there's a gap back here from this earnings where it dropped. I think you get that gap back at 1137. That would be a nice gain. Indicators like the MACD below the oscillator, RSI indicating maybe it's a good time to buy. And on the weekly, you've reset all of the indicators back down from that crazy run that we had from May of 2024 to January of this year. And it's picked up since April, but it hasn't gone crazy. So I like it. Again, why do I like it? It's risky. It's a chance. Is it trading expensively? It's trading okay. I mean, the valuation is a little bit crazy, 57 times forward earnings. Even the PEG at 1.94, just under 2, which is where I'd want it. But if they continue to grow, I think this one grows into that valuation. And again, I own CRM. This one's incredibly expensive. It's even more expensive, but the PEG ratio is down lower. But I think ServiceNow is actually executing better than CRM. And that's nothing that you can see. It's just a matter of doing research and understanding it, because CRM's growth is only 7% year over year. ServiceNow, their growth is 15%, 21% year over year. So again, I want to get into that one. I think it's a good opportunity for me to get into it. I will scale my way into it. Now, as far as education goes, this is a great video from Humphrey, who talks about trading NVIDIA and Tesla, okay? He's got a series of videos. This particular one applies to stocks and the market cap and share price. At the end, again, this is like a minute, but he goes over how one share of NVIDIA, you're buying far less than the dollar amount that you would put into this. Look, again, it's about market cap. If you don't understand this, this breaks it down super, super easily. Now, I'm not going to go over any earnings today because I don't really cover any of these. I don't own any of these. I will tell you, Cal-Maine is an interesting one. This is an egg producer. Kind of interesting. Lowered expectations. But again, that's because egg prices have gone down. So let's talk about some scans, because scans, this is where you find entries in the 4-hour algorithm. Amazon, it got you in at 219. It's telling you higher. Bezos isn't done selling. Expect that to be a weight on it. Bank of America, 47.61. I said this is a $50 stock. Should have bought it down here at about 44, 45. You'd have a nice little gain. Cleveland Cliffs is on a freaking tear. We've talked about it. Got a buy here at $7.46. It actually indicates today that there's another bullish sentiment on that one. And then Qualcomm. Qualcomm has a buy at 159. Are we getting back up to that 175? They have earnings later in the month, July 30th. Simon Property Group. Would I buy this one at 164? Well, you got a gap up here to 170. They have earnings coming up. Retailers have been doing pretty well. Simon Property Group, an outlet mall, I go there all the time. One that I don't think you should fall asleep on is Walmart. And again, is this going to double in the next year? Probably not. But at $96, I think anything under 100, I shop at Walmart. I own somewhere in the low 5 figures. I don't know, it might be mid 5 figures by now. I just bought it. I add to it every now and then. But it's basing. And this is not going to be a company. You can see right here, when the MACD was super high, it was trading at 104. Could be getting ready for a move higher. So again, I will have a complete list. It's a long list of scans. If you go over to the newsletter and you just go down to the bottom of the newsletter, these are stocks that are bullish in the 4-hour algorithm. And if you want the 4-hour algorithm, you can get it in TrendSpider. Sign up for an annual plan in TrendSpider and you get it. And you've seen me go over the stocks. Get the bundle. Okay, these are the top 2 links on Linktree. The link is down there on your screen. TrendSpider has a tremendous, tremendous sale going. Seeking Alpha, you save on the bundle. Get the sales before they're done. And if you have any questions, hit me up. My email is wide open. You can reply to the newsletter or just send me an email from Linktree right here. It's right there, dailystockpick3@gmail.com. All of the socials are up here. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.